It's a movement, folks. It's a movement. It's not about me. It's about you, believe me. This is a movement. We're not going to be the stupid country anymore. We're not going to be the stupid people anymore. We're going to be the smart country. We're going to be the smart people. We're not going to let our politicians destroy our country. We're not going to let it happen. We're not going to let it happen. And, you know, I talk about little Marco Rubio. He's a total disaster. He's a disaster. He's a nasty guy, said nasty things, and, you know, we hit him hard. We hit him hard. Little nasty guy. He even complained about my hands. Look at those hands. Look at those hands. Look at that. You know, I hit him only in response to him. You know, I always say I'm a counterpuncher, right? Only in response to him. And he's looking around and saying, what can I say? What can I say? Well, maybe I'll say, oh, he's got small hands. Look at those. I mean, give me a break, okay? Where did he get that one? That was the first. I'm saying to myself, where did that one come from, right? But, you know, the problem was I was shaking hands with people about 2 days, 3 days later, and they're all saying, gee whiz, Mr. Trump, you actually have large and strong hands. I said, yeah. So I did want to get the word out, folks, you know. I didn't want to go the rest of my life having everyone say I have small hands. I've heard of worse things, but who needs it, right? I want to thank you all, really. I mean, it's amazing. This crowd, look at that, all the way up to the rafters. All the way up. Unbelievable. 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 And the fire marshal, you know, we have thousands of people outside. We've lost about 10,000 people. They've had to leave, but we still have thousands of people. And I think because the police are so incredible, we love our police. And your fire departments and everything, they're going to try and let another few hundred people come right up here. I said, don't worry about it. We're not going to have any problems, okay? So we're going to fill it in, and it's great. You know, the one I work on most when I go to a site are fire marshals. They're my most important people because they're the ones that let us pack. You know, nobody has crowds like we do. Nobody. And you take a look today. Here's a day. Now, in all fairness to you, right now, I'm supposed to be at the Cadillac World Golf Championships at Trump National Doral. And I'm here. I'm here. And I just left Rory. Actually, I just left Kansas, and hopefully we'll do well in Kansas. And Kentucky. And, you know, I have a list. Look at this. New Hampshire, we won. South Carolina, we won. Nevada, we won in a massive landslide. That was supposed to be for Lion Ted Cruz. Lion Ted. He holds up the Bible, and then he puts it down, and he lies. I don't like that. And you know what? That's why I'm winning virtually every category with the evangelicals who I love. And you heard today Paula White, who was fantastic, and I appreciate Paula's being here. But Pastor Paula White was so great. And, you know, Jerry Falwell, Jr. from Liberty University was so great to me. And he doesn't endorse people. He doesn't do it. But he felt this was important. And remember this, every one of the candidates goes to Liberty. They all go to Liberty, they speak. When he endorsed me, that was a great, great thing. All right, so we won Nevada big. We won Georgia in a landslide. We won Tennessee really big. We won Alabama in a massive landslide. We won Vermont was incredible. Vermont. Everybody thought that would be Marco. Marco didn't even show up. By the way, he doesn't show up to vote for the Senate. He doesn't show up. So why the hell should he show up to Vermont, right? Yeah. We won Virginia. We won Arkansas. We won Massachusetts. Many polls have come out that I easily beat Hillary Clinton. And I want to tell you, you know, you don't hear that on television. You watch these dishonest pundits. Well, Trump can't win the general election. We will beat her so badly, folks. We will beat her so badly. I used to listen to Jeb Bush before he flamed out, and they'd say, Donald Trump cannot beat Hillary Clinton. And I said, well, why can't you beat me? Right? He got nothing. Low energy, low energy. And his people are now on television fighting me, saying, we have to stop Donald Trump. He's not going to beat Hillary Clinton. They work for Jeb Bush. And I say to my people, you know, I have these debaters, right? And I say, why don't you just say he worked for Jeb Bush and they were terrible? But I see it all the time. We're going to beat Hillary. And I'll tell you something. The one person that Hillary doesn't want to run against, I will tell you this, is Donald Trump. That I can tell you. That I can tell you. And it's amazing. I watched it the other day where little Marco is going, well, Donald will not win. I mean, this guy's got so many problems. I don't think he'll come close to winning his own state. How would you like to be this? I'm 21 points up. Now, I happen to love Florida, in all fairness. Truly, truly my second home. I'm here all the time, as you know, all the time. I love this area, by the way, but I'm here all the time. I've done many, many jobs in Miami with Related and with George Perez and with, you know, Gil Deser and Michael Deser, and we've had great success. And we've had many of the buildings on the Miami. We have a lot of stuff, and it's been great. And, as you know, Doral. And in Jupiter, we did a big job, very, very successful. And in West Palm Beach, we did the big, big job, very, very successful. And the Mar-a-Lago Club, and many more. And in fact, tonight, we're having our news conference. Hopefully, it'll be a victory conference in West Palm Beach. In West Palm Beach. See, with all the places I could pick, I'd pick Florida. I want to pick Florida. So we all love Florida. But I hear these people, and they talk about the general election. Look, the general election is very important, but I'm the one that's going to beat her. And I will say this, the one person that she does not want to run against is Trump. You know, she got a dose. I haven't even, folks, I'm beating her in many polls. I'm beating her in many polls. And I haven't even started yet. I haven't started with her yet. Only once. Only once. 4 weeks ago, she said something about me being sexist. Remember? And I'll tell you, the press treated me very unfairly. Because right after she said that, I attacked her and Bill. And Bill. We talked about the word. We came up with the word, a very true word, enabler. You know what enabler is? And we talked about Bill. I said, you mean to tell me I'm bad, but her husband's okay? Maybe one of the worst in the history of politics, right? And I had to put up, okay, this was a disaster for them. I guarantee you they had one of the worst weekends of their life. This was not a friendly weekend that they had sitting together at home, wherever they are at home, if they were together. So here's the story. Here's the story. We can't play games. Our country's in deep trouble. We have to beat her. It looks like she's going to make it. Bernie is gone. Bernie's gone, regardless. Bernie had his time. You know, he had his time in the sun, and I've seen this so often with politicians. They blow it. What happens, he had his time in the sun, he was doing great, and then they asked him the question about emails a month and a half ago, right? And he said, I'm tired of them discussing it. Like, in other words, they shouldn't be discussing it. And I said, bye-bye, Bernie, you just blew the election, and I was right. But when I attacked Hillary 6 weeks ago, people don't realize this, and the press gave me zero, and I want credit. Do you understand? You are the most dishonest human beings on earth. The most. They are disgusting, dishonest human beings. And I'll tell you, well, not all of them. Actually, amazingly, because I'm no fan of the New York Times, I had a front page story today in the New York Times. It was a phenomenal story. I can't believe it. All right, get him out of here. Get him out. Right? We had an amazing story today on the front page. I'm going to have to be nicer to the New York Times, you know. They give me all bad stuff, then I attack. Today was really amazing because somebody said in the story that there's been nothing like has happened with this movement in the United States for over 100 years. Can you imagine? Over 100 years. And it's true. No matter where we go, we're packed. We have the biggest audiences, the biggest crowds by far. I must tell you, Bernie was second, a distant second, but Bernie was second. Where are these people? Come on, get them out fast. We want speed. Oh, there he is. Look, little wise guy. Little wise guy. A lot of guts. A lot of guts. I wonder who sent him in. You know, they send him in, by the way. It's very. But I love my protesters because these guys never move the cameras. I say it all the time. I call my wife Melania. By the way, she's done a great job on television lately, right? Will she be a great and very beautiful First Lady, right? And she's very, very smart, and she's got a big heart, I will tell you. She's got a great heart. But I love my protesters because I'll go home and I'll see Melania. I'll say, how did you like the crowd? Didn't see it. What do you mean you didn't see it? I heard it. You know, when you hear this crowd, you know there's a lot of people. Can you imagine where we had to have over 10,000 people not come in today? But I promised I'm going to come back. None of you can come here when I come back. None of you. We're going to let the, okay? I also know you got here at 6 o'clock in the morning, many of you. So, pretty amazing. But we're going to come back. But can you imagine, I go home and I'll say, did you see the size of that crowd? We filled up Dallas. You know, the Mark Cuban, the Dallas Mavericks are a wonderful team. They have a beautiful stadium. I spoke with Mark. I said, you know what, that would be good. He said, you'd fill it up fast. We took it over on Thursday. We filled it up on Monday, 21,000 people. Nobody knew. And the reason they didn't know, number one, the reporters don't want to report it. They don't want to say. They had a case where Bernie, it's unbelievable. That's why I like my protesters. The only time they move the camera, if there's a protester up on the top in the rafters, they'll move it because it's a negative thing in their mind. It's actually very positive. But, you know, I'll tell you what. We have a thing going on here that's incredible. There hasn't been anything like it. The biggest story in politics, which really isn't talked about as much as it should be, is voter turnout during the primaries. 50% up, 60% up, in some cases 100% turn. There it is, cameras. Look up there, camera. Look up there at the protester camera. USA, 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 USA. Are the Trump rallies the greatest? Are they the greatest? You know, when little Marco has a rally, when they get 300 people, 200 people, it's fine. I'm not knocking it, but that's sort of a normal thing. This is not a normal situation, folks. This is not a normal situation. So it's been an amazing period of time for me. You know, on June 16th, I took a deep breath. This is not something that's so easy, I want to say. I took a deep breath. I came down the escalator with Melania. I said, let's go. We have to straighten out. Get out of here. Get out. 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 Go home to mommy.